My mother was a drug addict. My father died when I was 19. She just didn't love me. I don't know why. She did every drug you can think of. It never stopped. Hey guys, it's me again. So, I wanted to make a video really quick, a little backstory, if you will. It's about addiction. My father died when I was 19 years old. No, I was 20. I was 20 years old when my father died. My mother, she had been doing drugs my whole life. I just wasn't aware of it as a young child, and I guess when I was older, she thought that it would be okay to let me know that she'd been doing drugs on and off my entire life. So I just wanted to have a quick discussion about it and how it affected me as a mother, because I'm sure there's quite a few of you out there who either have one or two parents that do drugs or drink excessively, and maybe if you don't have a parent that did it, maybe you have a family member, brother or sister, or you've just seen people that you know go down that path. And I just want to talk about it real quick because it's affected my life tremendously as a mother. And I am so proud of myself. I am so proud of the woman that I've become without the help and guidance that most people get. Most people have someone there to call up and ask, I have work, could you watch my kids? Or, the baby's being crazy, what am I supposed to do? Most people have that foundation. On the other hand, I don't. I don't have a father or a mother or a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle to call and ask for help or advice on how to be a parent. And I'm sure that I'm not the only one out there. My father got sick when I was in high school. I was a sophomore in high school, I believe. And so he got sick, progressively got worse, and he died when I was 20, like I had said. Diana, my mother, on the other hand, she had amazing health. She was a very good, mostly good mother when I was growing up. She took us places. She had us in sports. She was there, and it actually wasn't until I got older and, in hindsight, started seeing all the signs that she was so clearly doing drugs. She was so clearly lost. But, as a young kid, that's your world. And that's the thing about addiction. I believe that's what fuels it so much. And that's where I don't know, honestly, if it's a disease or it's outside influence. And the reason I say that is because if you're a small child and your parents are both under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and all you witness is odd behavior, you don't know why. You don't know why they're acting odd. You don't even know that it's odd because it's the norm. So let's take a person who uses crystal meth, for example. They keep odd hours. They're super hyper and energetic. There's going to be random people coming and going at weird hours of the night. There's not going to be really a set routine, most likely. And as a child, you're witnessing this. You're seeing parents up all night. You're seeing people come and go in and out of your house. It's a certain lifestyle. And you have no idea why. You don't know that it's not normal. You think it's normal. And so when you grow up, these behaviors, it's normal. It's normal to you. It's not weird. It's not anything that's disgusting or looked down upon. It's just a normal way of life. And because of that, I think that addiction and it being genetic only takes it so far. And outside factors really determine mostly the outcome of how it's going to be. So that's just a little quick side note I was thinking. But back to what I was saying. As a child, hindsight, obviously she was an addict. When my dad got sick, I don't know if it was because he got sick. I don't want to give her that excuse, honestly. she decided that she was just gonna be a piece of crap. This is my story, my life. That's how it was. That's the choice she made. That's the road she went down on. She wasn't a strong mother there for her two daughters who were slowly watching their father die, their entire world. She decided, for whatever reason, that was when she was gonna just let herself go. And that's what she did. She went from having a timeshare in Cabo and fancy nice cars and all the money she could need and making $170,000 a year and owning her own house. She went from all that to deciding, for whatever reason, that she was just not gonna give a shit anymore. She got fired from her job because she was using pills all the time and couldn't function. She was drinking, she was doing crystal, she was basically every drug that you could think of, anything that she could get her hands on, that's what she would do. And she lost everything. It was the fastest, most rapid decline I had ever seen. She lost her house, her cars. She went down so fast to being nothing, to having some beater clunker car, nowhere to live, and no worry in the world except how she was going to get more pills, or money to do pills, or money to get alcohol, or who she could hang out with that did crystal meth so she could be high on that as well. When my father died, we had nobody. We still have nobody, my sister and I, and I'm going to leave my sister's story out of it, but this is just my story. So we had nobody, and I was so angry at first. I was so angry. I hated her. I hated her so bad. And, you know, I had just had my son. He was like a brand new baby, and I couldn't even trust her with him. You just never knew what she was going to do. And so she was in and out of our life when she got herself under control enough to be an active member of our life, but it was never very long. And she started staying with my sister, and it was a nightmare. You know, she would get physical or try to get us thrown in jail because she just, I don't know why she hated us. She hated us. She would do anything she could to hurt us. You know, I remember this one time walking in the room, and there's this scene on The Exorcist, if you've ever seen The Exorcist. And Reagan's tied to the bed, and the priest walks in the room. And she's staring at him, watching him, with this look of hate and disgust. And, you know, if she could get loose, she would kill him. And I remember walking in my bedroom one night when I was letting her live with me. And that look is what she had on her face, clear as day. I don't know why. I was letting her live in my house for free. I had just gotten off work. I was actually getting kicked out of the place that I was at because she was there and I wouldn't force her to leave. So I was basically losing everything, and we'll get to it, but because of her, I did lose literally everything that I had worked for my entire life. She stole everything from me. But like I was saying, I just remember that look so clearly, and I don't remember why. I don't know why she hated me. And I remember thinking that. I don't know why she hates me so much. Like, what did I do? I am her young daughter. And my whole life it's been like that. She always hated me. And the point is that I never had opportunities most people have because of this, because of not having parents or anyone to fall back on. So my life has been a huge struggle from before I had kids to when I had my first son. When I was 19, I was in an abusive relationship because I just wanted to escape. I just did not want to be with them anymore. I didn't want to watch my dad die. I didn't want to watch Diana do drugs. I didn't want to be a part of it. So I went with a guy as quickly as I could, and he was abusive and violent and mean. He almost killed me several times, and I had a baby with him, and I left him quickly as soon as I had my son, because he threw my son basically to come after me is what happened. And I left him immediately. I had nothing really. I got a little bit of help this time, and thank God for that. And I was able to slowly but surely make a life without that man. But in doing that, I had to work and work and work. And I didn't have time to go to school or find education for fancy jobs. I was a server. I've been a server on and off my entire life, or I did office clerical work, which is something I've been doing since as far as I can remember, because my stepmother, she ran her own business and she allowed me to work for her and learn all these traits. So that's basically where I learned everything, was my stepmother. But when my dad died, she kind of became non-existent. She kind of went her own way. So as a mom, I had no one to fall back on, and because of that, the struggles have been tremendous. But I just want to make this video out there because I want everyone to know I am so proud of myself, because even though it hurts sometimes to think back on what my life could have been had I had the help, I've made such a beautiful life for my kids. And I mean, I have such a beautiful family, and I am so grateful every single day for what I have, because I'm so lucky. And even if you have nobody, you can do it, because I did it. And it's hard, and it's exhausting. And there's times when you don't even think you're gonna be able to do it. And I got so blessed to meet the man that I'm married to today. He's the love of my life, and he had no one either for help, but together with determination, we have built the most beautiful life, and we have the most beautiful family. And yeah, it's trial and error all the time, because we don't have that wisdom. We don't have the people to fall back on to tell us how to raise these children the best way, what works, what doesn't. I'm on Google constantly. I have no idea, and that's why I make these videos, so I can get feedback, and so people out there can maybe relate, maybe not. But the people that don't have anyone, hence you're looking up videos on how to do stuff, I trial and errored it, and this is what I came up with. So that's why I make my videos. And this one was just so people out there who don't have anyone, or who had addicted parents, or whatever, I just want you to know that you're amazing, and you're special, and you are loved. And it may not feel like it sometimes, but you can make it. And I know it's harder. I know you have to start from the bottom, and you have to, claw your way to the top. There's no extra money. When you're in a bind and you're about to lose everything, there's no one there to say, just come home, we'll take care of you. When you're working and you can't afford childcare, or there's no one to watch the kids, or you're just so exhausted because you were up all night and there's no one to come over, it's okay. You'll get through it. You might lose that job, but there's another job, and I know you can get it. You might think you're failing at parenting, but I'm sure you're doing amazing. And there's mom groups out there to help. There's YouTube videos out there to help. And I'm sure your common sense is good enough. And like I said, because I had an addicted mother, I can't fall back on my youth either. That's another thing I wanted to put in there. I can't fall back on my youth and go, well, this is what worked for me. Because my father died and she was a drug addict. So I can't fall back on the experiences I had as a child to teach my kids. But I can use it to teach them what not to do. Sorry, it got a little crazy, a little emotional. But I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of you out there watching this video. It's hard. Being a parent is the hardest job in the world. But we have a whole community now out there of moms and people who make videos and blogs and magazine articles, and it's all at the access of a fingertip. So anything you need, you are able to ask, you're able to help. I hope you guys like this video.